Hey y'all, and welcome back to my video.
Yeah, my computer's just chilling in the background.
I literally just filmed this over next to my vanity and the lighting was awful. So if y'all have advice, I have a ring light. It made me orange. I don't know. So if y'all have advice on lighting for YouTube videos, let your girl know because I'm struggling. So today I'm doing a Q&A video. I had asked a poll on Instagram for y'all to ask me some questions, and I got some questions back, so I'm going to be answering those questions. If you watch my videos, then you know that I am currently student teaching, and whenever our school shut down, student teachers were, told to stay at home as well. And right now we currently go back April 20th. The date could change, not really sure. I hope everyone is staying safe and positive through all this. I'm definitely sending my love to everybody. It's a scary time in the world, but I thought it'd be a good time to answer some questions and get some content in there. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you have more questions about future videos. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So I have my phone right here, so I'm going to be looking on here for questions. I will put them on the screen. So our first question is, what is your favorite Disney movie? Kind of a tough question because I am a huge Disney girl. If you don't already know this, I don't think you can see in the background. No, there's shelves in my room about like all my Disney things. But since I was a little girl, my favorite Disney movie has always been The Little Mermaid, and it will continue to be my favorite Disney movie until the day I die. Ariel is my favorite Disney princess. With that being said, I have encountered new Disney videos since then that I also love. So second would be Tangled, and then third would be Moana. So Ariel is my girl. So Little Mermaid, Tangled, Moana, top three. I know I only asked for my favorite, but hey. Second question is, why did you move to Kentucky? So I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a little backstory real quick on why I moved to Kentucky from Texas, to Texas from Kentucky, and so forth. I was born in Houston, Texas. I lived there until the age of 5. At the age of 5, my parents decided to move us to the small town in Kentucky that I currently live in. My parents are both from Kentucky. My brother and I were both born in Houston. So age of 5, moved back to Kentucky, lived in Kentucky until 7th grade. Then my parents decided, hey, let's go back to Texas again. I'm not really sure what their thought process was, but they moved us back to Texas again. You know, the land of opportunities, so many things to do and experience in Texas. We lived in Texas from my 7th grade year all the way through my entire high school and the beginning of freshman year of college. And then by that time, my parents asked us if we would be interested in moving back to Kentucky. Our family's all in Kentucky. This is where my parents are from. It's a small town. It's a great place to live the rest of your life. And so we agreed we moved back to Kentucky. And this is where I currently live, small town of Kentucky. I'm engaged, and I will definitely be spending the rest of my life in Kentucky. So that's why I moved.
Next question.
What are your favorite clothing stores? Kind of tricky because, FYI, I don't really live near a ton of shopping in my small town. No, it doesn't bother me, but I don't really live near a lot of shopping. I'm kind of weird about shopping. I follow a ton of bloggers, so I do a lot of clothing shopping on Amazon. You'd be surprised. Yes, you can get name brand clothes on Amazon. Buy lots of clothes from Amazon. But when I don't shop at Amazon, Dillard's is always my go-to. You can get so many different brands there for such good deals, especially when they have big sales. I get shoes and clothes from Dillard's all the time. Also been loving Red Dress Boutique, and then when I'm shopping for things that are like in season or will be eventually going out of style, I go to places like Rue 21 or Francesca's. And then I'm huge on like country western boutiques. I will link some of them below. I'm obsessed with those, like Southern Fried Chick, Gypsy Rose, Texas, Wild Heifers Boutique, Giddy Up Glamour, Lace Cactus. Like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with all of those. And if you want more information about those, message me on Instagram and I'll give you a list of all my favorite country girl boutiques because those are my go-to. Next question is, what are your top 3 Amazon faves? Kind of like this question, kind of don't, because I can't really think of them on the top of my head. I do love sunglasses from Amazon. I have bought many Amazon sunglasses that look like designer dupes and are very good deals compared to the actual designer sunglasses. I'll link some pictures. Also, mini bathing suits. I'm a big bathing suit junkie, so I buy tons of bathing suits from Amazon that are stylish and not going to break the bank. And then another thing is earrings, like big, chunky, popular earrings that will eventually go out of style. So I'll insert some pictures of those here as well. Next question is next place to travel. Next place to travel? Like, I can't travel. It's quarantine season. But seriously, it is kind of a damper, and I understand that everyone had a lot of travel plans, and I respect those of you that stayed home and did not travel because it's the smartest thing to do. My family and my fiance and my brother's girlfriend and I were all supposed to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains for spring break. With that being said, we will not be going there now, especially with everything going on. That was where we planned on traveling. But I do know that I have a bachelorette trip planned with my girls in Disney World in July, so that's for sure the next travel thing. Aside of that, we'll probably be going to Gatlinburg sometime soon after everything is clearing out, and then Florida as well in the near future. Next question is my favorite beauty products, which I have like 2 that I can go ahead and share. I'm next to my vanity, so I'm gonna go grab them real quick. I'm real big on like big plumping lip glosses that are really good at plumping your lips, because no, I do not have lip fillers or lip injections, and no, that's not something that I can afford to be getting right now. So I love Too Faced lip injection lip gloss. It's great. Any other lip plumpers have lots of them, but I just recently discovered the Ulta Beauty, surprise surprise, plumped up pout lip gloss. It looks like this, if it will focus. Was literally $4 on clearance one day, and it's really awesome. I have it on right now and very tingling. Then another thing I discovered from TikTok, it was all the hype, was this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. It looks like this. Great primer. It makes my foundation go on really good, and it is not super expensive, so it's very inexpensive, and I highly recommend these 2 items right here. Next question is, what is your next biggest goal? And with, you know, all the teaching things being said, obviously my next biggest goal is to graduate. I will still graduate in May with my elementary education degree, which is super exciting. I have been waiting for this moment for many years. And after that, my next goal is to get a job. So obviously after I get my degree, I plan on interviewing and going through hiring process to get a job as an elementary teacher in whatever grade comes to me. Which, with that being said, goes right into our next question. What grade do you hope to teach? I have been doing student teaching, so my first placement I was with 5th graders. Absolutely loved them. Was super nervous to go in with 5th graders, thinking like, oh my gosh, they're 5th graders. How am I going to teach older kids? It's so much different than doing like songs and activities with younger kids. Absolutely loved 5th grade. I enjoyed it way more than I anticipated, and I would so love to teach a higher grade like 4th or 5th grade. But then with that being said, I've always loved teaching young kids and young students as well. My second placement, which I only got to be in for a week before quarantine, was 2nd grade, and I love the atmosphere of 2nd grade with all the activities and assignments, and she was self-contained, and I love doing songs and activities and games and movies. So I have a very different brain, and I feel like I can wrap my head around things like teaching younger students or older students. I'm not really like set on one grade that I would love to teach. I'm all for whatever comes my way, whatever God throws at me. The last question, which is my favorite question and the longest response probably, so I'll have to think about this one. What is the difference between Texas and Kentucky? And what I think they meant by that is not necessarily the difference between Texas and Kentucky, but the difference for me, because I lived in both. So I'm gonna just talk about my experience. So for living in Texas, I lived in Houston. Very big city. Cypress was the town I lived in, but we all say Houston. So much to do all the time. I'm not kidding. I lived within like a 30-minute range of like 7 different malls. I could go to this outlet mall or to the Galleria or to this mall. There were so many malls all over the place. My friends and I shopped all the time. It was like our go-to activity. So I loved that. I was very addicted to shopping. So being in Kentucky was very different. Another thing about Texas, I was on the dance team in high school. And if you know anything about the dance teams in Texas, they're their own thing. Like, they're different than other states around the world. our dance team consisted of like 70 girls, and then we had, I think, remember on the top of my head how many line officers we had, but I was a line officer senior lieutenant on our dance team, which was awesome, and I absolutely loved our dance team experience more than anything. It meant so much to me in high school. And then another thing about Texas is there's so many activities like escape rooms and movie places and pop-up shops, and there's just so much to do. Festivals, concerts, events, everything, restaurants to go to. There's always something going on where I used to live, and I loved it. You could not get bored where I live because there was something going on all the time. Busy, 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 go, go, go. That being said, where I live in Kentucky is a very small town. We live about an hour from Nashville, which is still exciting too, but our idea of fun in like the summer, well, my fiance, you know, going hunting, fishing on the lake, we like to ride his four-wheeler, we'd go sit down at the pond, we'd take the four-wheeler and go mudding in the four-wheeler or in the razor. Just very different. Like, you know, all the guys meet up at the gas station or the park in their trucks and they show off their trucks, or people go hang out at someone's old shop building on their farm for fun on the weekends. It's a very different lifestyle. Things go by a lot slower, you know, sitting on your back porch. I used to live across the street from a cornfield. Now I live across the street from a bunch of horses and cows. Like one day I woke up and there was a cow in our backyard in the house we used to live in. So it's very different lifestyle, but that's the big difference for me. I love both of them. I feel like I'm Hannah Montana. I've lived in the best of both worlds. I've got to experience two different lifestyles, which is incredible, and not a lot of people get to say. Very appreciative for everything. Thank you all so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Like this video if you have been obsessed with TikTok and you cannot get yourself to get off of it. It's not even that I'm like trying to like be TikTok famous over here. It's just addicting to get on there and watch people's videos and then be like, oh, I want to learn the dance. I want to make the same video. That's what I've been doing. If y'all have any video suggestions of things you'd like to see from me, then leave those comments down below, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!